What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope everyone's having a great week. I'm having an awesome week. I wanted to come on today and just talk a little bit about this idea of dehumanization. And I think part of where it stems from. And people probably think to themselves, like, what do you mean, Matt, dehumanization? So think about it this way, right? So we've gotten into this culture of everything being so quick and all these quick fixes and getting things right now, right here, right now, right? We've gotten into all that. And while there's a benefit to that, I think it's really there's also a downfall to it, right? So you can get your Amazon package in 2 days, and if you don't like it, you can ship it right back, and there's no problem. Like, right, and you think in your mind there's no problem. You don't think who's behind the screen. You don't think it's the same thing when you like go to checkout at like a store, right? When you go to a checkout line, do you use the self checkout or do you use the regular checkout? And I get it. Like sometimes you're in a hurry and you just want to get through and you want to get out. I get that. Even in my line of work and the line of work of like the people who are caring for you and that kind of thing, haircut, when you go to like a hairstylist or a massage therapist or anything like that, right? We typically have a 24-hour cancellation policy, and it's not to like it's not to make you like the policy isn't, to me, is not for how I run business, is not to make you feel guilty or bad. It's an energy thing of, I have other people who that time slot could be for, or I have there's it's also a respect for me, it's also a respect for you, it's an accountability factor of, hey, like this costs money for a reason because I have knowledge that I want to help you with, and I want to give you that, right? So I think about dehumanizing in the way of, stop allowing yourself to think about who's behind the screen, so to speak, when you're sending that text of oh, I have to cancel last minute, can we reschedule it? Like, I'm sorry, but no, that's not how this works, right? It's not to be like, shame on you. I respect the other people who respect that policy, and I respect that, right? So I think of dehumanization as we don't really think about who we're talking anymore. It's like you text people, and text isn't emotional, right? Like you don't get the emotion behind that, right? So when I say no to somebody just flat out, there's no emotion behind that. I'm just saying no, but you don't know how my inflection is. You don't know any of that. So in a sense, you just think of the person behind a screen, and you just think of it as like this technology thing, right? So you're kind of breaking, there's a barrier now of, there's no human behind this text that I'm sending. And then you feel there's no emotional connection there. There's no inflection. There's none of that. So you don't get any of that real human and like one-on-one connection with people. And I think that happens with a lot of things, online dating. You think you're just talking to a screen. There's no feeling behind that. You don't think, there's no thought when you have that. So I'm just here to challenge you on today on how to treat people a little bit better, right? You don't need to be nasty or mean. You might, and like, I get it, we all have bad days, but remember, if you were having that conversation with somebody one-on-one, it's like if you have an order, if you're placing an order, right? And you don't get that order for a week, maybe 2 weeks, right? The initial is, I order this product to help my life, to change my life, right? Because I've seen really good reviews on it, what have you. When you constantly are mad at somebody or frustrated because you're not getting something, an immediate thing, because that's what you're used to, because that's what society and what we've become so accustomed to, when you do that, you're not really thinking about, oh, there's an actual person behind the scenes who's taking the brunt of your emotional, because you don't know how to have an emotional check and say to yourself, oh, I didn't really think about the fact that he has 7 other people, or 10 or 20 or 100 other people coming at him for this. So maybe I should check my attitude, and maybe I should check myself, because there is a person behind this, right? It cultivates this idea, and it helps you bring to light this idea that not only how you're treating somebody else, but how you treat yourself. For example, when somebody cancels on me last minute, that's fine. But when somebody cancels on me to ask to be rescheduled or ask to be whatever that means, not only does that mean that you're disrespecting my time, you also don't have value for yourself. You don't think that you deserve an hour to yourself. And a lot of people, it's work, right? They go, oh, I can't get off of work. And I say to myself, wait. So we've been doing this for how long, right? How is it that, and again, this is a thing that I think people need to start thinking about. If you've been crazy at work or you've been sick, right, or anything like that, you know well beyond an hour before your whatever is planned if you can make it or not. So to tell somebody like me, hey, Matt, I can't make it today. I've been sick all week. I go, you've been sick all week. I call BS because I go, you've been sick all week. Why couldn't you tell me this and save this session or save this time and money as opposed to wasting it now? And I hate to say the word waste because you're not really wasting. I mean, it's an investment, right? And that's an accountability factor. It's not only an accountability factor on your time, it's an accountability factor on your mindset, right? Are you the kind of person that doesn't think, oh, I'm sick, I should probably cancel the appointments that I have for this week? No, I think to myself, you think to you, and a lot of people do this. A lot of people think to themselves, I don't matter, so I'm just going to wait till the last minute and not have the discussion, not have the hard, again, this is all about having just like, sometimes it's just having a hard conversation or having the tough conversation of, I don't like that. Okay, well, why don't you like that? You don't think that I deserve a notice? You don't think that you deserve the time? Is it starting to make sense? I think that when we start to bring back the humanity of your time, your value, patience, again, we've gotten into this like quick fix it mindset where and again, this is another thing, everyone thinks that they deserve whatever they're after. So like people that come to me, right, they want results. And I want results for you. But what people sometimes do not get is that you need to show up and you need to be present and you need to not only have a boundary, but you need to know and have value in yourself to go, I deserve an hour to myself every, 2 days. If you're coming twice a week, or once a week, whatever, even if it's an hour a week, I deserve the hour to feel good. And a lot of people don't think that they deserve that. So I'm not going to rant about it because I don't think it's a ranting conversation. I just think it's something that needs to be said we have gotten dehumanized a bit, right? We've gotten into this space of we don't think we deserve. So therefore we people please. And we think that we have to people please our way out of situations because we don't think that we deserve the time, right? So then what happens is, and I'm a culprit of it too, because I'm a people pleaser and I'm getting over people pleasing, right? If I know that you have a session and you cancel on me the day of, it's not a shame on you. It's not a, I hate you. It's not emotional. It's professional, right? I have people that could have filled that time slot had you told me a day earlier. So I think we need to start getting back into this valuing people's time and energy and what they bring to the table, their knowledge, their mindset, all of that, right? Everyone has something to offer you and has an opportunity to give you something, and in a good way, right? We are energetic people, right? So when someone says to me, oh, you're too far, and I'm like 20 to 30 minutes away, that says to me, you don't have value for yourself. You don't think that you deserve to go to somebody who actually puts the work in and cares for you. You don't think you deserve that level of care to travel 30 minutes. That is concerning, right? So I put it back to you. And I just think it's important to think about how we're treating other people so that we're not treating people like a transaction, and we're not treating people like we're Amazon Prime. We're not treating people like there's nothing behind them. Everyone has something to offer, and you need to start thinking about and reframing your mind around everyone's not just like a quick, you know, checkout button. Everyone's not a self-checkout. There's you know, feelings behind that. And I'm not saying everything's about feelings, because when you come in here, it's very little about feelings and all about the work. And it's all about if you want to do the work and you think that you deserve to feel healthy and good, right? So that's all I wanted to say and come on and jump on and talk about, is just this idea of getting away from dehumanization and realizing that people have value, people want to help you, but they can only help you when you show up. They can only help you when you commit to doing what you say you're going to do. If you want to lose weight, if you want to get healthy, it takes work, it takes sacrifice, it takes putting boundaries on work and other people and saying, I deserve to be healthy, I deserve to feel good, and I want you to feel good, right? So I just think it's really important for everybody, whoever's listening, everybody just start thinking about not only bringing back humanity for your own self, but bringing back humanity for whoever is in front of you, right? It could be a friend. A friend might be really trying, like wanting to connect with you. You can't make a connection with somebody. You can't, even if you're trying to be in a relationship, you need to give energy back to somebody to receive energy back. It's a give and take. And I think a lot of times we're in this place of, I deserve energy. I deserve them to. How about you stop thinking it's all about you for once and go outward and go, I need to think about who's in front of me, right? It's not just about my time. It's also about this person's time, this person's energy, this person's heart, this person's brain, right? If you really want to get to know people and you really want to open up in that way, it really does come down to not just being selfish. It comes down to being selfless. It's both. There are times to be selfish and there are times to be selfless. And I think because of all the staying at home stuff, all of the texting stuff, the online, you know, quick fix, quick, you know, I want it here, I want it now. Start supporting local business. I can tell you, as a small business owner, I can literally tell you, nothing means more to people who own a small business than your business, because we actually take so much. It's very humbling when somebody comes in to your business and trusts you or values what you have to offer. There's nothing more thrilling than that as a small business owner. So like when I see people, and there's no shame, right? Or no shade. Like when you go to a corporation or a big corporate gym, go, that's great, right? Whatever you need to do is great. But when you do support locally, it not only builds up your community and builds up humanization and builds up the people around you it brings them more confidence, right? So when somebody actually starts to respect what you have to offer, when somebody starts to respect your heart, your mind, your soul, everything starts to kind of become a collective of, we want better for humanity. We want better for our community. We want better for, you know, building up each other. And I think that that's really what it comes down to, is like when you start to build up each other and you start to build up your community, as opposed to making, again, this is where it's like, stop making everything about yourself. And I was a culprit of it, sometimes still am. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I am saying the more that you can start to look out towards other people more often, and there's times to look inward, you should be looking inward, but when you start to look outward, you start to support your community in a way that's not selfish, but selfless. I think that the community as a whole stops becoming dehumanized, and then we become a humanized, we become this like caring place of people, as opposed to this, there's like this disconnect, and the disconnect is here, right? If this is always out on the table or whatever, you're now saying that this is the most important thing in the room, right? I read this a while ago that says, whenever you have this, if you're out to dinner with somebody or you're getting coffee, if this is out on the table or in visibility, this is now the most important thing in the room. So what I like to do, and this is just a test for you, you can try it, you can not. I either put this in my pocket, I'll leave it in my car, I'll leave it in a coat, whatever, in your purse. Take it off the table, take it away from sight, because now you're saying you are the most important person to me, right? You are the most, and it's not enough to turn it over on its no. Get it out of sight, because you are, by doing that, you are giving somebody else the connection that they deserve and that you deserve. It's a give and take, right? Even the whole iWatch thing, I'm not going to lie to you. I went out with a friend the other day for coffee, and we're having a great conversation, right? What do you think happens in that moment? No joke. We're talking, having a really good, just like breakthrough conversation, right? And his watch goes off, and he goes like this. Immediately that conversation is done. And now it's one of those things. It's like, I call it a bird moment, where you're like, oh, and then you come back and you're like, wait, well, what were we talking about? And I'm like, I don't even remember. Right. So that, again, it's like, are you, to me, and again, this is not like a dig, it's, do you really think that you are that important? And I think this is, again, what technology has done. Technology is great. Don't get me wrong. Technology has a time and a place. But when everything is connected to you at all times, everything, you think that you're the most important person, and you're like getting texts and phone calls and emails and all this stuff to your wrist, right? It is so distracting. You can't create connection that way. And it becomes this place of, for the person that's on the receiving end of where you are with your watch or your phone or whatever, it becomes this thing of, oh, I guess I'm not important to you, right? It's one thing if you're like, I really want to show you something. I have this picture that I really want to show you, right? That's one thing. But when you're getting text messages and emails and phone calls, it's just hard to connect with people that way. So I'm just challenging the idea of how much you're giving to other human beings, right? The soul of another human. If I'm training, and I see this happen all the time, I saw it happen when I was working in big box gyms, is trainers will have their phone out because they're like, oh, I want to take a picture of you while you're doing that for my Instagram, right? What's more important to you as a customer, as a client? Is it attention and focus from a trainer, or is it, I really want to be on your Instagram? Because if you really want to be on my Instagram, first of all, I don't even have Instagram. But if you really want to be on my Instagram so badly, let's do it in a place. Again, it has a time and a place, right? For my clientele and for the future of clientele in what I do in other aspects, other arenas of life, finance, socially, everything, right? Start to be aware of, am I allowing technology to control me, or do I control my technology? Am I allowing myself to bring value to somebody, or is everything about me? And these are just questions to start asking yourself. Am I, when I have an appointment and I know ahead of time that I can't probably make that appointment because life is just a little hectic this week, do I proactively say, hey, work has been really crazy, I just want to give you a heads up that I might have to cancel? At least then that gives me okay, I might have this slot open, and communicate. Or do I not respect you or myself to not give that advance notice? See what I'm saying? It's all mindset. It's all things that you think you deserve. If you don't think that you deserve one-on-one connection, by all means, be on this all day. I hate it. I mean, it's a time and a place. It's great for business. It's great for communicating. It's great. However, it's not great for when you're trying to connect with people in person, one-on-one. And I think that that's a huge downfall of why we are where we are as a society, is because we care more about your Instagram and your Facebooks and your social media than you do creating a one-on-one connection. Guys, we are the loneliest we have ever been, ever in our entire existence. We are the loneliest we've ever been. You have to start asking yourself the question of, I wonder why. Why am I so lonely? Are you getting out there? Are you opening yourself up and meeting new people? I mean, at the end of the day, you have to think to yourself, that's on me. If I'm constantly in my home all day and I just, I'm on my screen all day long and I'm trying to connect you're not going to get you don't get meaningful connection because there's no emotion behind your phone. There's no emotion behind a screen. Even though you think there is, there isn't. That's just the reality of the situation. You really want to connect with people, you have to meet. You have to put the work in. Like anything else. You really want to lose weight, you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in to be healthy. I don't even like the term weight loss anymore because it's dehumanized people. Completely dehumanized people because it's made you think that it's all about like this term loss. What are you trying to lose? How about if you just start to try and be healthy, take care of yourself? That's the real power of taking it back. Stop trying to lose weight. Stop trying to even gain muscle. You will gain muscle and lose weight when you start to treat your body right, when you start to detoxify and clean it out and you get healthy, right? And you have the right people in your life that want to support you up, right? People that want to lift you up and pull you up to the next level, even though sometimes it might be hard to hear what they have to say, right? That's okay. I would rather be a hard ass, pardon my language. I'd rather be a hard ass on somebody for one session, for 1 hour, and make a huge breakthrough of some hard truths that you need to hear than coddle you to get you to the next level. Sometimes you need to be coddled, or sometimes you need to be told the truth, but also sometimes you do need to be coddled. I do both. I think it's important to do both, but it's also the energy that you're giving me. I could never tell you through a text message. I would never know if I need to coddle you or if I need to give you a hard truth in the moment because I can't see the energy that you're giving me. If you're like in a really broken place, I'm not going to sit here and be a jackass. I'm going to sit here and listen to you, right? And energy is so important. It flows. It needs to flow. So, end of rant. I promised I wouldn't do that, but I did anyway. So, just start thinking to yourself, am I a human being or have I become dehumanized? And if you have become dehumanized a little bit, it's okay. Just start to kind of taking action to rehumanize yourself, to re-enliven yourself, you deserve to be healthy. You deserve the time to yourself. You deserve to not have things going wrong in your body. You deserve the right people in your life. You deserve all of these things, but not to deserve it in a hoity-toity, I'm better than you way. You deserve it in a way of just, I deserve to feel good. But you have to put the work in. It's not just I deserve. You do have to put the work in. You have to make sacrifices. You want to get out of debt because you feel like you deserve to? Absolutely, you deserve to be out of debt, right? But are you overspending? Look at your life. Look at what you're doing. That's how you start to take responsibility for your life. That's how you start to take responsibility as a human being. So, end of it, I'm going to stop here, but I wanted to just come on and let you know that you are a human. You have a soul inside of you. You have energy that wants to get out and meet people and wants to be nice and wants to be kind and wants to help and all that stuff, but also be real. Okay. So next time you're at a grocery store, next time you have an appointment, next time anything, just remember there's somebody on the receiving end of that, whether you think it or not. Always think that there's somebody on the receiving end of what you're saying, what you're doing. Do you want to make someone's day crappy or do you want to make someone's day good? You want to make people feel good, not terrible. You have to be truthful. You have to be honest, but also realize that somebody is on the receiving end of how you're feeling on the inside. And a lot of times how you're feeling in here, you project out. So just really think about that. And that's it for today. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a start to your weekend, really. And God bless you all. And I will talk to you soon. Adios.